joins us live. He's ranking Republican on the House Intelligence Committee. Good evening, Congressman. And what can you tell us about this money, whether or not Major Hassan was sending money to Pakistan, and to whom in Pakistan?
Well, Greta, much like the news media, over the last 5 or 6 days, I've been going to my sources because over the weekend the intelligence community was unwilling to brief us as to what they knew. And from very reliable sources, they've told me that there are very solid leads that indicate that Hassan was having communications with individuals in Pakistan and may also have sent money into Pakistan. Now, as with any other leads, this may end up being a dry hole, but the sources that I've heard this from are relative, and in the past they've been very reliable.
All right, there are different places you can send money to in Pakistan. You could send it to your relatives, you can send it to your friends, you can send it to a charity, or you can send it to really bad people, rotten people who want to inflict harm on others. Have you been able? Is there any indication which way this goes?
No, that's one of the pieces of information that we're going to try to be looking for over the next couple of days, over the next couple of weeks, see if we can't peel this further back. I think that the intelligence community, whether it's in the DOD area or whether it's the FBI, they probably have this information at this time, and they'll probably share that with Congress when we finally get briefed next week.
All right. Now, I'm pretty disturbed by the fact, and I don't know if you heard the first part of the show, that these doctors at Walter Reed thought Hassan was a bad doctor, so they basically tried to hide him. They dumped him on poor Fort Hood, thinking Fort Hood wants all their horrible doctors. But now something you said disturbs me. You said that the intelligence communities have not yet briefed you, or won't brief you, or won't answer questions. Can you tell me what the delay is, and don't you have oversight over these agencies?
We absolutely do, and I asked for a briefing on Friday immediately after that, and I was told on Saturday I could not get a briefing and that they'd be more than willing to brief me on Tuesday. Well, they knew that Congress was not going to be in session this week, that we would be home. Now, they offered to brief me by phone, but I turned that down because what I found over the weekend is that the media was actually doing a great job in moving this story forward. They are the ones that brought forward Al-Awlaki. They brought forward a lot more information, and I had a lot of people coming to me, and I thought they were giving me more information than what I was probably going to get from an intelligence briefing. So I decided to wait. I've received no classified briefings. I think I may have learned more about this process. I might have learned more about Hassan and actually what was happening than if I'd actually been briefed by the intelligence community, because they haven't been that forthright. Sure, they briefed us on Monday, but again, I think there's a lot of information that they have that they haven't shared with us. I'm looking forward to getting to the bottom of this.
All right, let me give you a hypothetical, because we don't know what they have, what they don't have. But is it fair to assume that our intelligence agencies, some in this big government we have, someone knows whether or not there were financial transactions between Dr. Hassan, Major Hassan, and somebody, and the person in Pakistan, unless it's done through an underground network, and that they would have been able to track those transfers going back for any substantial period of time? I mean, that the information's there, if it occurred.
Yeah, I think if those transactions occurred, I believe that through the FBI or other means that we would have the ability to identify and track those. Remember, now we've got Hassan's computers. We've got probably have access to all of his financial records and those types of things. We would be able to identify.
Why would that be classified? I guess unless we're I mean, if it did happen, I guess it's classified if it's sent it to a particular figure that we're tracking. Then it would remain classified, right?
Then it would probably remain classified, although I'm not sure that it would need to be that it would need to stay classified. We've had this issue over and over, Greta. The intelligence community too often overclassifies information that many of us believe should readily be available to all members of Congress and should be made available to the American people.
Well, I think the American people are eager to find out about this one, and we'd like to hear from our government more than through, quote, leaks and stuff, so we can have some level of confidence that's not just wild rumors. Congressman, thank you, sir.